In this tutorial, I'll show you hundreds of transitions you probably didn't know you had. I already have two clips on my timeline. One is a view of a city and the next one is a view of fishing boats in a small lake. Now what I'd like to do is make a very nice transition from one to the other. Now normally we would go into the transitions menu and then look for something that would be befitting. But if we want to do something very unique, there is another option that gives you hundreds and hundreds of more transition, and that is with the ProDAT Bite Scene filter. Now there's two ways to apply it. If I was to click and drag it, release it in between the two clips, it will actually make this clip lap over the other clip for 1 minute. And you can see that if I click, you'll see over here it says 1 minute. If I drag it back, on most transitions it's about 10 seconds or less. So I'm just going to hit it to the 10-second mark. So that is obviously one way to do it. Let's show another way. Well, we do it in reverse. We click and drag and push the clip forward until we get the 10-second mark. And now what's going to happen is it's going to automatically apply a transition, which is fine. Release, hit this transition here again, and now you can click and drag it and place it in the middle, and voila. Both ways works just as fine. To access this filter, double click. We're going to get into the Customize tab, and then we can open this Customize tab, and here we are. Now we have all the presets, and when I say presets, we have a lot of presets. Now each one of these can be customized as well, so the amount of transitions you can create is probably in the thousands. Now let's look at something that we could use. So we can go through our little list of all the different types of transitions and then pick something that you're quite happy with. Let's go into the zoom in. Now you've got different options here. These are all your presets, so we may have a medium zoom in. Now to apply this, use this little button over here. It literally says apply selected entry. We'll click on that and that'll give you a small demo of what it does. Now if you're happy with that, you can literally just press the keyboard F12 or this little plugin here, which then also brings it back to Video Studio. Let's just use this. Okay, and then here we have the transition in action, and it did a pretty cool job. And like I said, we have the option of customizing everything within that transition. So over here we have the motion of the motion bar, how quick, the shift, everything here. Now obviously I can't go through each one of these. You can play with it, and all it does, it just changes the actual filter slightly different. Now what I can do is give you a small demo on how I would go about customizing my filter. So I'm going to go into the geometry tab, and what I want to do, instead of it zooming in and out, I want it to rotate in and out. So I'm going to move my slider all the way back to the beginning of the transition. Now bear in mind, this does use keyframes. If you don't want to use keyframes, uncheck this. If you made a mistake, you can just highlight it till it's yellow and press the delete key on your keyboard. Now let's keep moving. So let's have a preview of what it does. It zooms in and out more or less. So what I want to do, I want it to rotate in and out. So I may go onto this, stop that, I might go into this keyframe and I'm going to go up to the rotation and bump it right up. So you can see already in the preview of how this is going to affect. And again, I can then preview that, and I think that is exactly what I want. Fine. Let's go into this little plug here, and now let's have a look. And voila, just by moving one little slider, I've now changed that transition, but still exactly what I wanted, that flashy looking thing. And it's a complete customized filter now. So you can see your potential to use the Vitacine plugin for transition is endless. This plugin does so much more than just transitions. It can also be used for color grading. So let's have a look at that. So click, drag, drop it onto your timeline. I have a cityscape here again. Now by default it picked looks like a purplish tint. Let's change that quickly. Let's see if I can make it look more like a 1970, 1980 landscape, picture, video, whatever you want to call it. So we can go up here. Let's go right back into the beginning so we're not getting confused. Let's have a look at this. We can either go into the filter group or the transition group. Now obviously we don't want to do a transition. We now want to play around with some filters. So let's click on that, double click, open it up, and again we have a lot of options to play with. What I want to do, I want a more of that 1970, 80 gritty look. So up here, I got the filter group of a film look or a film look with tint or an old film. First, let's have a look at the old film and then apply that. And okay, yep, definitely an old film. Now, most likely I would go for Arno because it's a LUT that I also use in other NLEs. Let's have a look at that. Every time I want to apply it, I do have to click this here, apply selected entry, and then have a look at that. Okay, this is exactly what I want. I think here the sky is slightly overblown, so I will go into the color adjustment tab and then bring that brightness down, and then it should be exactly how I want it. Use the little plugin or F12, and let's have a quick preview. Voila, look how easy it was to change the look and feel of that video clip. I've now just done a very small adjustment, and I've already color graded to where I want it to be. Let's do one more little demonstration. Vita scene onto this little video clip. So here I have a young lady sitting near an open window, or a window with a curtain. Filter, Vita scene. Now I'm going to use the bevel. So if you go into your tree, you will see here the basic bevels here. And I'm going to use the classic view here. So bevel classic, I'm going to choose this one right here. I'm going to apply it to the filter, and I'm going to have a look. Now, isn't that fantastic? So it's a little bit too dark. I'm going to drop the dark level down. Oh, look at this. See what I did here? I moved the timeline, and now I'm going to change the keyframe. It's not what I want. In actuality, I don't want any keyframe to be used. Let's make sure that it is consistent all the way through. Beautiful. And press apply. And let's have a look. Look at that. I completely changed the look at this video from something that looks natural to a little bit more warm in color. Isn't that great? I will show you one more little thing you can do with the Vita scene filter. Click, drag. Let's add another one on top of the first one. Yes, you can add multiple Vita scene filters onto one clip. Click on your star, filter, and it'll be the next one down. Now, unfortunately, we only have a light version. You can go for the full version. If you click here, activate, it'll take you to the home page of ProDad, and then you can upgrade this for $199. And to be honest, I don't think I use it that much to warrant $199. But in case you do, let's have a look at the pinpoint light filter. Let's bring that on, or bring that into play. It gives you a really cool effect, and you have a lot of options here. So let's say if I want to reduce the size of that light, I want to move it, say, away from slightly, and then maybe a little bit up, like so. Oh, no, I've gone the other way. Up that way. And then maybe even change the actual color itself to this. Press OK. And now I've got a completely different look again. I do not want to use keyframes. And I'm going to press OK. I want to apply this effect, and now we got it. Unfortunately, we will get this until you go or upgrade to the full version, but I'm just giving you a little demo just in case you are interested or do this quite often, that you do require the full version. Then it may be worth it. Look at that. That's not too bad, is it? Have a play with those. I'm pretty sure you can come up with some really cool transitions and even some very cool film effects. Now, if you do like this type of tutorial, leave a comment and I can go through other filters that are available with either ProDad, Nublu, or any of the other filters that you've always asked, how does it work? And as always, thanks for watching.